Hello everybody, my name is Adrian from the channel called The Adrian World. Sorry. Today I'm going to be reacting to Into the Spider-Verse. It's terrible, extremely, whatever. It's by Kristen Lake. Alright, I'm going to play part 1, 2, and 3 in bathtub video, and that's it. This is part 1. Part 2 is coming tomorrow. Alright, part 1, here we go. I agree, nostalgic critic.
Oh, it's really good. Yes,
I agree. I love Into the Spider-Verse. It's my favorite Sony Pictures animation movie.
This movie sucks.
No, seriously, it sucked. I'll take Homecoming over this garbage. Just, how is it so loved?
I haven't seen Homecoming. Bro, why is it loud, man? I haven't seen Homecoming. Is Homecoming good?
No, seriously, it sucked. I'll take Homecoming over this garbage. Just, how is it so loved? It's overrated. It's horrible. I don't like watching it. And it hurts me to hear people and critics say that this is the ultimate Spider-Man experience. No, it isn't. This is the worst Spider-Man movie by far. It's unfunny. It's unexciting. It has a lot of problems.
That's funny.
It's just not
Peter B. Parker eating a cheeseburger.
good. I was curious about this film when it was announced, but after seeing it, I didn't know what to think of it. The animation's cool. It's surprising to have a Spider-Verse movie. I mean, I was reading the Spider-Verse comics because I like the multiverse stuff and to see different Spideys, and admittedly to find one or two females in Black Widow Spidey efforts. But after some thinking, I could barely come up with the positives for this movie. I just kept thinking of the problems I have with this, and that Dad enjoyed it, and I didn't want him to be mad at me for not having such a good time and hating the film. After a day or two, I just realized that I just hate it. If you want to know why I hate this movie and why people think this is the greatest Spidey flick ever, pisses me off, and that they're wrong, here's my review of the trailer. This is my review of Into the Spider-Verse, the worst Spidey film I have ever seen. So we open with the usual logos, except this time the editing and styles feels like we're on drugs because it's art. And then we have Peter Parker narrating as we get a few iconic scenes from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, especially, gosh. And immediately we run into one of the huge problems of the movie. At first I hope that Peter Parker is an older Sam.
Should I watch the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, the Andrew Garfield duology, or the Tom Holland movies? I seen the 2 Spider-Verse movies. I can't wait for the 3rd one to come out. Oh, I'm so hyped for that crap. Oh crap. I'm so hyped. God, Lord and Miller are legends.
He's Spider-Man. Like, come on! There's references and stuff. It would have been really
Kissing
cool if
scene,
it...
that was from the first Spider-Man. The train scene from Spider-Man 2.
the same way he's Spider-Man. I mean, okay, he's not voiced by the same actor, Tobey Maguire, but still, it could have been cool, especially the fact that Sony made them. But he's not. They just make references because it's Sony and they made it. You had a good opportunity, teased us, and you flat out point out that it's not the same guy. Thank you for disappointing me. Oh, it's Spider-Man's voice?
My name is Peter B. Parker.
I know it's not just Keaton, but
That's
that's
Jake Johnson's
And then we cut to our main character, Miles Morales. And you know what? I don't actually mind that he's the main character. We have plenty of Peter Parker stuff, and it's refreshing to change it up with a different Spider. So he's on his way to a new school and puts stickers on stuff because I don't know. And of course, we have an unfunny cliche of which he has a father, to quote from Miles, is an old man, and he embarrasses his son, which leads to one of the unfunny, awkward scenes of the movie.
You gotta say I love you back. I wanna hear it.
This isn't funny, nor is it charming. It's an awkward waste of time. My father and stepmother are more funny than this. Miles once late again to one of the classes, not that he would care, and we meet Gwen Stacy, voiced by Haley Steinfeld, who I can recall has starred in a much better film.
You killed my father when he was trying to help you.
Ah, yes, True Grit the remake, one of the best westerns out there. Well, he's got a 0, and apparently he's trying to get himself kicked. But the teacher catches on and assigns him to an essay before we meet his Uncle Aaron, who I'm totally convinced is not the bad guy. It brings up that there's a girl he met in school. And we get another cringeworthy joke that comes back later a couple times in the movie. The fucking shoulder touch!
Barnett, you walk up to him and be like, hey.
You serious up there?
I'm telling you, man, it's science.
So walk up to him and be like,
Like, hey.
oh, and that's where the radio...
Can't wait for the third one.
Spider comes.
Anyway,
And in case it's not obvious enough, have the tip of its legs glow and color it blue and red. And what the hell kind of a spider is this? Is this from another
it's a
world? It
radioactive.
doesn't matter because it bit Miles and... Aside from it being not funny, why the hell didn't it hurt Miles even though every spider bite I've seen hurts Peter? Then the next morning, I think I hit puberty. Damn it, that's actually a funny scene.
Why am I so sweaty?
Why are you so sweaty?
It's a beautiful thing.
Way to completely ruin it and make it suddenly forced. So Gwen and Miles bump into each other again and introduce themselves, in which Gwen calls herself Wanda for some reason, and Miles decides that now is the time to do that unfunny gosh darn soldier touch technique. Did anyone laugh at this? Did the majority of people laugh at this? Because I'm not laughing. I'm cringing. Anyway, due to the spider powers, his fingers get stuck on Gwen's hair. She ends up cutting the side of her face. Miles is embarrassed, people laugh at him, and he runs into a guard who knows he snuck out as Miles hides inside said guard's room. And then we have a questionable scene in which his hands and feet won't stop sticking. Just why? I mean, Parker in the first movie has that poster stuck on his hand from the side of the bus, but that was it for the
That's
original
Tobey
movies.
Maguire.
The Amazing Spider-Man, yeah, it has a few of that, but that's nowhere near as weird as this. And in the theaters, I'll admit, I did laugh at this, but ultimately, I don't find it funny anymore. So his spider sense acts weird for some reason, even though it should only detect danger, in which it eventually does, as Miles dodges and... What the hell? Why is Green Goblin a big monster? That's never explained! Miles runs for his life, but ends up falling as Spider-Man saves him, and we get another questionable scene. They have this sense or something to signal if the user has spider powers. I don't recall that ever happening in the Spider-Verse comics. Is it something the writers decide to pull out of their ass? So we're introduced to the Kingpin and... Oh! This is one of the worst character designs ever! I mean, it's non-existent. This isn't human. Just... What the fuck am I looking at? When I think of the Kingpin, I think of this really big, strong human being. Like the PS4 Kingpin. Look, he's big, strong, and he at least looks human. This?
This is the par I made that video today. And this guy, Christian Lake, he said this is the worst character designs ever in Kingpin's design. Looks like the hash slinging slasher from SpongeBob. And yeah, I'm gonna play it now.
This is the worst Kingpin design ever! He looks like the hash-slinging slasher but SpongeBob! And he's more intimidating than the Kingpin! I can't be the only one having problems with the villains. Please, somebody help me out here! Okay, so he's activating this multi-dimensional machine and the Monster Goblin puts him in there, which causes the machine to shut down and cause a wreckage as Spider-Man is severely injured. He gets Miles to drive, and that it's the only thing to shut down the machine before the hash-slinging slasher whip-off unmasks Peter, who's blonde, and kills him. Oh, how edgy. Miles makes a noise and gets chased by the Prowler, but thanks to his spider powers and dumb luck, he manages to avoid the Prowler and ends up back home with his parents. His dad admits that he thinks Spider-Man is a menace, and of course the news of Spider-Man's death is heard. And you know what? It's such a dramatic thing to have Spider-Man die, even though he's not exactly our Peter Parker. And it's delivered quite well, and...
Everybody's wearing Spider-Man now.
Probably not you specifically. I think it's a metaphor.
And we just entered one of the biggest problems of the movie. The dramatic scenes always have an inappropriate note. They often ended or cut it short with a joke. A joke! It's not like it's the MCU where a dramatic moment is followed up with something funny. It just cuts short or it comes out of
Oh
nowhere.
yeah, Spider-Man, Nicolas Cage.
What? Yes.
The only one that's touching is when Miles' uncle dies. But that's it! What were the writers thinking? And then they bother to check and read the script before it got published? In the first Spider-Man, whenever our characters are going through the dramatic stuff, you feel for them and it plays out well. The death of his uncle, Peter is sad and angry, and after taking down the murderer, he's still bummed out even after graduation. Sony, you make the Spider-Man trilogy and the Amazing Spider-Man remakes. You have to know more than this. I mean, it's like Quill and Gamora have a conversation about killing Gamora if Thanos gets her, and then it's interrupted by Drax eating nuts rather than letting the conversation end. I swear, I am going to murder these writers. So Miles has the Spider-Man costume, and he tries to take a big leap of faith with his powers, but goes downstairs like a pussy after a few seconds. Wonderful. But immediately goes into another tall building and tries it for reals. And due to his untied shoe, he ends up falling and gets lucky, even though all of this should have resulted in his back hurting like Spider-Man 2. And due to the fall, he ends up breaking the drive and visits Spider-Man's grave that night before Peter Parker from another world shows up. And Miles accidentally knocks him out with a new power. And we see that our Peter, even though he claims to handle things like a champ, is going through pretty depressing crap. His wife MJ wants kids, but he doesn't. They broke up. He eats more pizza to the point where he's fat, and it makes me wonder if he's constipated due to eating so much pizza. And of course, he ends up in Miles' world due to Kingpin's machine. So Miles ends up getting chased by the cops as he carries Peter's body, as we partake in a chase scene with slapstick that doesn't make me laugh, but at least it doesn't make me cringe, so yay? Anyway, Miles has Parker tied up and asks questions before coming to the conclusion that Peter is from a different world. Peter unties himself, and before he swings away, some weird fuzzy crap happens to him. Miles tries to get Peter to teach Miles, but it's like, nope, and he even bargains a drive, in which Peter effortlessly stole. But it's broken anyway, so he has to go to Alchemex to fix up a new drive. Miles tries to make Parker feel guilty, and it works. Lovely.
And didn't go on the cake.
I think it's cool.
No thanks.
So they enter the building. The woman has 24 hours to
Yeah, take it off. Spider-Man doesn't wear a cape.
fix this multi-dimension bug crap. Miles has trouble unsticking, but Peter tells him to relax, which results in an unfunny singing before he falls down and makes a noise.
But come on, it's Post Malone.
Another power of Miles pops up as he camouflages himself. Before she enters, Peter has Miles type the password, and she deduces that Peter is from another world, and he's been glitching.
Stay in this dimension too long, your body's gonna disintegrate.
What?
Stay in this dimension too long, your body's gonna disintegrate.
So, in the Spider-Verse comic, all of the Spider-Men and women get together to fight these inheritors that feed on the Spider People's soul or something, and there was none of that disintegrating science babble if you end up in another world for too long. But here, if Peter stays in this dimension for too long, he dies. Why did they bother making up that plot point when that was never the case in the comics? The simple excuse for the movie they could have just had is that the multi-dimensional machine has bugs, and as a result, the worlds are colliding, and the other Spider-Man and women get together to stop that from happening. And it would have been fine on its own. You can easily take out the whole disintegrating plot point, and it wouldn't change a thing. And don't you say it's because Miles needs the motivation to gain control of his powers in order to stop Peter from sacrificing himself. Because another thing that they could have stuck with is this scene right here.
I can't sit there and just let Spider-Man die without doing anything about it. I'm not doing that again.
And of course, Peter Parker nearly dies, but Miles shows up and saves Peter from dying by the hands of the bad guys in the end. To quote from Scar in The Lion King, I am surrounded by idiots.
What? I'm surrounded by
Oh, hey.
idiots? No! Not Dude, that movie is not overrated. It's amazing. The Lion King is also amazing. Anyway.
Dr. Octopus is a woman. So, what does it add? Dr. Octopus is in the movie. I wouldn't care about it much, except why the hell is it a she? There is no reason Doc Ock should be a female. Even if you claim that she is a fan or that she's a daughter or something, it's still not going to add anything to the plot. It's not like it's Lady Doc Octopus from Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions or anything. In fact, wait a minute, I actually got some ideas that this movie should have thought out to make it a bit more interesting, so that I can maybe forgive the monster designs for the Goblin and Scorpion and how it could tie into the Spider-Verse idea. If the villains came along from other universes, like there's barely any bad guys in Miles' world, and the whole Kingpin family motivation can still be there. But the machine has bugs and crap, so they get other baddies from other worlds to finish the machine and get revenge on the blonde Spider-Man. They get the Monster Goblin and Lady Ock and some other dudes from other worlds, and bingo, Spider-Man's dead, Miles does what he does, keeping the promise, blah blah blah. There you go. I'll let the designs of the villains slide, except for the Kingpin, as long as they're from other worlds. But now we have the monster villains and Lady Octopus just because. And don't you say it's because it's a different universe, because that's a lazy excuse. And the writers are either pussies or idiots for not thinking it through entirely. Okay, so the scientists have laser guns, and the two Spider-Men try to escape through the forest away from Lady Arc and the scientists, who have terrible aiming like the stormtroopers. Then Spider-Gwen shows up, and I won't lie, she is a total badass in this scene, and I do like her punk hairstyle. It's a small change that I'm okay with in this movie.
I like your haircut.
So do I, Miles. So do I. Alright, fuck you then. And seriously, another comic recap? Whatever. The three swing away from the stormtroopers, Alchemax scientists, before we see the Kingpin having flashbacks to his dead family. So yeah, he built his collider so that he can have his family again. But why would his wife and kid love him? The Kingpin looks like an abomination. This flashback symbolizes that people love this crap, and I am Spider-Man trying to stop this movie.
Bro, the Spider-Verse fans are pissed. Bro, oh god. Bro, everybody's gonna kick his ass. Is that AI?
Okay, so the three of them ride on the bus, which just looks really stupid, and goes to May's house, as May knows that the two of them are from an alternate dimension. They go to the backyard and open up a shack, which, he has a spider cave. I call bullshit. Oh, hey, look, it's the PS4 costume. Can I play that game instead? So May has housed three other spider people, and
Hey, fellas.
Spider-Man Noir is voiced by Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I was right.
Oh,
What?
call me crazy, but Nicolas Cage's voice acting doesn't really add anything to the picture. I prefer the live-action Nicolas Cage that acts over the top. But apparently he lost his game lately, so forgive me if I find this extremely underwhelming. How about you have him be voiced by Jonathan Banks instead? I can just tell Nicolas Cage is trying to add something, but fails miserably. Nowadays, he just talks in a really dull tone that doesn't seem invested in the unlike the past Nicolas Cage, where he acts nuts, much to our entertainment. If you're pissed at what I have to say about Nicolas Cage, both in the movie and what he is nowadays, you can just get to my house. We have Penny Parker, that anime girl who rides a spider mech, and of course Peter Porker, the spider pig who was originally a spider but gets turned into a pig. He's basically a cartoon just like the Looney Tunes, so I feel like a spider. Oh gosh, another comic recap again? With the three simultaneously, and they make this quick? waiting to realize this is kind of repetitive, so they decided to make it quick. So, a new.
Guys, who is your favorite Spider-Verse character in the franchise? For me, you know what? Let me say Spider-Nor and Spider-Ham. Yeah, they're my favorites.
Problem is that one of them has to stay behind to turn off the collider. Of course, Miles is the obvious choice, but the problem.
Also Miles Morales, Peter B. Parker, and we got that one character from Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Punk. Yeah, Spider-Punk, yeah. Alright, yeah.
Yes, of course, he doesn't have control of his powers.
Those are my 5 favorites. You want 10. You know what? Let's say 10. Kingpin, who else? Spider-Man 2099. We got Miles Morales' dad, got the Prowler. Alright. Who else? Who else, man? God, I'm out of ideas. Alright, I don't want to waste my time. Let's continue.
Yeah. So Miles is upset. He goes away to his uncle's place, and oh, Aaron Davis is actually the Prowler? What? He's the bad guy? My mind is blown! When I first watched this movie, something felt familiar and off with this guy. I remember reading a comic where his uncle or something is wearing a recolored Iron Spider outfit and is one of the bad guys. And wouldn't you know, he's the bad guy in this film as well. Sorry if I'm not shocked, even though I'm not sorry. So Miles gets chased, escaped, and heads back to May's house as Penny manages to complete the drive. I'm sorry, movie, but Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon did this already in Return of the Spider-Verse Part 3. It's nothing new aside from the Rubik's Cube.
Uncle Aaron, he fucks with Kingpin. He tried to kill me.
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
Okay, I'll give the movie that one too. The villains show up. Scorpion is a monster because why the hell not? Fight scene ensues, Aaron shows up, and Miles unmasks himself. Kingpin orders Aaron to kill, but he doesn't. It gets shot in the back. Then Miles escapes and takes his dying uncle to an alleyway. This is one of the only dramatic scenes that doesn't immediately end with a joke. Aaron is dying from a gunshot wound, and Miles cries over his uncle's death. But then his father arrives, sees him, and points a gun at him before Miles turns invisible again, and then he sees Aaron's corpse and blames it on Spider-Man. How did he come to the conclusion? It makes no sense considering the posture looks like
Oh,
Miles
wait. Oh, I already said it.
crying or something. It just ruins the scene. Also, he doesn't even conclude to the fact that Aaron is the Prowler
Oh, crap. The Spot. Yeah.
who worked for Kingpin, who killed Spider-Man. What the hell, guys? Miles returns to his dorm where the other Spider people show up, and they all share the same pain. And surprisingly, Spider-Pig actually does have a touching moment. Until it gets ruined when Miles' roommate shows up and they hide in the ceiling doing the Tom and Jerry routine. Yay! Now, I did kind of laugh at this in the trailers, but ultimately I don't find it funny anymore. So Peter whips up Miles and claims that the whole spider powers thing is just a leap of faith before leaving. I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought Peter Parker wants to die a heroic death rather than let Miles die. I mean, I know Miles doesn't have full control of his powers, but I'm pretty sure that isn't the only reason. I'm willing to bet, after all the depressing shit he went through, he just wants to die. I even thought about it in the theaters. If anybody had the same thought, please leave that down in the comments below. This made me want to go over this week to come out with this book. A few hours later, Daddy shows up and shockingly, his scene is very touching. There's no nonsensical thing, no inappropriate funny stuff. It just lets it play out, and Miles finally gets control of his powers after his father left. And you actually done it! Miles goes to May's house to get a new costume and new rip shooters that May has made somehow, and he finally takes a leap of faith with his powers. Meanwhile, the other spider people got on a bus for some reason rather than just swinging around, and then we get the worst scene of the entire movie. There's a party in the ballroom by the Kingpin that's about the dead Spider-Man, and there's waiters with spider masks. The concept alone, I don't have a problem with. But our heroes go inside a ballroom and they never bother to get the tuxedos or dresses. I know that this is a memory of Spider-Man and stuff, but I'm pretty sure Kingpin would recognize those guys, especially when his henchmen fought them. Is it funny? No, it's not. And it just gets worse. Peter sees Mary Jane and a punk
Oh, Peter B. Parker is trying to rizz up on Mary Jane.
apologizes, much to the dismay of Gwen and Spider-Cage. It should have ended with Peter at least stopping and pausing a bit before Gwen tells Peter to continue with the mission, but no, he just walks up to her and talks to him. And what makes this even dumber is that MJ should have recognized Peter's voice because she was Spider-Man's wife! This isn't funny, this is just stupid and
It's funny. It's funny.
This movie is loved by many people and critics and
Let's see the comments. Alright. Yeah, I know. What? Yeah. I agree. Anyway.
Are you boys fucking masterpiece? Yeah, I said it. I need more drama. I just wanted to know there's watching empty people and critics. And then volume 4 is a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, I said it. I need more drama. I just wanted to know there's watching empty destroyed villages. And then folks down Godzilla amongst the planet. Thank you. Bye.
Anyway.
He gets to the collider, but the villains attack them, and this is a pretty
final
cool
battle
scene
scene
to watch,
was
even if
epic.
it has one moment where it
Even
doesn't
the
make much
Smarter
sense.
Him
Penny's
versus
mech
the
gets
Scorpion.
destroyed,
That's-
and her
that's-
crying
that's-
over the
that's
destroyed mech
freaking
is
epic.
pointless because in her own dimension she just recreates it or just fixes it. What the hell was the point of having that sad moment? Is it because her father made her? Why should I care? But yeah, this action scene has some really cool moments where Miles makes an intro, he, Gwen, and Peter triple team Doc Ock and gets hit by a truck, which is pretty funny. And we get the most amazing scene in the entire film.
Yes! Let's go!
That's really funny and kind of awesome. Well, they all said their goodbyes, which isn't really all that touching because it has a couple of stupid scenes with the Rubik's Cube, Spider Pig giving the mallet to Miles and then saying that's awful to Peter, asking if he's allowed to say that legally, which just makes me wonder whether or not it ripped off the copyright law from Sonic Colors.
No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me!
A bit of a side note, but I think Sonic the Hedgehog and Spider-Man would be a perfect team. So Gwen leaves, and Peter tries to hold off the Kingpin, but Miles makes Peter go back home, which impresses him. Aww, Peter doesn't want to get himself killed anymore. And I'm not letting that go. So Miles and the hash slinging slasher, Kingpin,
Alright.
go at it, and Miles somehow survived when the Kingpin did the exact same move that killed the other Spider-Man. Seriously, guys, did you forget the earlier scene? And Miles does that stupid shoulder touch technique one last time, and everything goes back to normal. Oh yeah, the part where Miles sees his father as the new Spider-Man, and he tries to disguise his voice. It was unfunny in the trailers, and it's unfunny here as well. Though I will give the scene credit that his father doesn't think that Spider-Man is amazing. He thinks he's a hero. Thank goodness, because I do not need another J. Jonah Jameson, who still needs to be either replaced or dead. And
He's in the post-credit scene.
wait, how did Greg manage to contact Miles? It's over? Well, fuck you too then! The post-credit scene. I know they're making a sequel and a spin-off, but
Yeah, Lila, yeah, that's what her name is. That's Spider-Man 2099,
it has to be
aka Miguel O'Hara.
one of the worst jokes of the movie and the worst post-credit scene ever. It has Spider-Man 2099 going to Earth 67, aka the 60.
Guys, please don't stop with don't do the 6-7 jokes. Please don't do it. Don't do it, guys.
Spider-Man cartoon thing, and they won't shut up about pointing. Other people laughed at this, including my own dad, while in the theaters, but I just sat there with an emotionless face. They had a cool idea with Spider-Man 2099, and they fucked it up about pointing and arguing about pointing like they're little kids that are easily annoyed by the littlest of things. And to add insult to injury, Dad is one of those people who likes to sit for the post-credit scenes, even if they do suck. And before this post-credit scene showed up, there's that stupid goddamn Christmas song that plays over. I can't believe they actually put that song here, and I fucking hate it.
That movie was released back in December 2018. I should have seen Into the Spider-Verse with my dad instead of that crappy Illumination Grinch. What the hell, man?
It's not playing. I face palmed and nearly yelled out in the theaters. I swear I was this close to just slapping him in the face when we left the theater.
Sounds like Iago from 11. Rest in peace, guilty girlfriend.
This movie is awful.
No.
I mean, the
it's
animation
awesome.
style is pretty cool, being like a comic book translated into a film. Though there are a few times where they kind of overdo it so much that it feels like an acid trip or something. There's a nice PS4 costume Easter egg in the cave. There is one pretty cool moment from Spider-Ham. Miles' father doesn't view him as the bad guy who killed Aaron and thinks he's a hero at the end. Thank God. It's got a few funny moments for sure. And Miles as the main character becoming the new Spider-Man, especially the older, depressed Peter Parker thing. Those are good ideas,
Oh,
but
yeah, Mary Jane.
I came here to see other Spider people and see them kick ass and have a good amount of screen time. Half of them do, but the other half doesn't. Not to mention the other problems I have with the film really distracts, and I will never understand why this film is so loved. Seriously, the jokes don't work, the dramatic scenes are mostly botched, the action isn't really all that exciting, the designs and the choices for the villains suck. It's just an overrated piece of shit that does not deserve its praise. I hated going back to this film, but I had to get the point across. This film does not deserve the love and attention. Sure, there's cool ideas, but it could have been handled better, like the villains being from other dimensions. And having the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, even though he's not played by the same actor. The trailers advertised it got started and it never delivered. If they're gonna make references, don't put it in the trailers, then I wouldn't be as pissed. It sucks. It really sucks. And when I hear people and critics...
What is the opposite of sucks? Supreme, yeah. Superior, yeah.
Especially popular YouTubers praising the movie, it just makes me angry.
Yeah. Is her name Rio? Rio Morales? She was good.
You know what? If you're angry with me that I did not like this movie and think that this is the worst Spidey film ever made, I don't give a shit. You can be angry at me all you want. You can type negative comments down. It's still not gonna change a damn thing. Fuck the people that made this movie. Fuck the people that love it. And not just fuck everyone. When they make the sequels and spin-offs, they better have extremely bad writers and or check the script many times to see what's wrong. And I just hope that there's one or two female Spideys that wears a black suit. But seriously, fuck the people that give this movie love. It does not deserve the praise.
Yes, it does.
You guys are idiots.
Everyone's booing.
Excuse me. I got my anger out.
His microphone. That's terrorism. Ugh.
Humanity sucks.
Eating a pizza in the bathtub. Anyway, alright. I think that's all of it. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a notification on YouTube, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Into the Spider-Verse is not bad.